In watercolour, we don't add white to our paint to get it lighter, or indeed black to our paint to get it darker. We simply adjust the amount of paint and water we've got. And being able to do this at will and understanding the mix of paint to water is a real key watercolour skill. So to start developing it, what I suggest doing is getting a scrap of paper and dividing it into 7 or 8 different squares. We're going to start by going as dark as possible, so paint with only just enough water in it to make it workable, and we're going to work in nice even steps down to, at the end, that's pretty much dirty water. You'll hear people talk about the different stages of watercolour. So up here, when it's mostly paint and hardly any water, people will say it's a honey consistency, and then we'll get to a cream consistency, and then maybe a full fat milk consistency and a semi-skimmed milk consistency, and then we'll get to coffee, and then we'll get to tea. Pick a colour, any colour. If you've got any left in your palette like this, that's great. I have added just enough water to my purple to get it workable, and I can do my first square, and that's really nice and easy. And we put that in, don't have to be super accurate. This is our darkest tone, and this, people, you might hear them say it's the mass tone of a colour. So you can see this grey at its full strength at that real honey stage is darker, say, than that red. It's darker than this turquoise. So this has a lighter mass tone, this has a darker mass tone. Now what I need to do is add some water, and I'll put maybe 2 brushfuls, and I will do my next square, and I'm aiming for it just to be noticeably lighter than the first one. I now need to add more water, maybe another couple of brushfuls. You might notice straight away this is going to get really full up because I'm adding more and more water. So if that is the case, I may start another mixing well. Let's just scoop some of that in there and then add a little more water. And again, I'm going to do my square, and hopefully it is a stage lighter. I'm halfway through here, and I'm a bit concerned that maybe I'm not getting light quick enough. Now here, because I was starting to panic about running out of paper, I've actually gone a big step lighter. I'm adding more water here to go a step lighter. Now again, because I'm having to add a lot of water to get a step lighter, this is going to get very full up, so let's just scoop some of that out, and I can add a little more water there. Yeah, that's barely a step lighter there, so I didn't add enough water. So this time, to get my very final one, I'm adding loads of extra water, and good, that is a good step lighter. Why don't we do it again? And this time, it's just what I've got in my palette. Let's use the yellow. Added enough water here to make it workable, and that is our honey paint. That I cannot get this any darker, and it's still to be paintable. I'm going to add a couple of scoops of water to it to get the next stage, and you can see that's considerably lighter. I'm going to add some more water, and we're a stage lighter. Now I'm going to have to add a lot of extra water to get this light, so I'm just going to use a separate well and make that judgment. how much to get this significantly lighter, and I think that's going to be quite a lot that I have to add into there. Yellow intrinsically is a paler colour, and it just doesn't have as big a tonal range as some of the darker colours. We're down to, let's say, dirty water at the end. I just haven't been able to stretch out to have 8 steps. Oh, I have done 8 steps, sorry, 9 steps. Let's come back to our purple and just think of descriptions. So say we might call that honey, and we might call that tea in terms of our mixture. We might call this cream, and then milk, oops, and then probably coffee down here. Have a go, pick a couple of your favourite colours and see how many steps you can get out of your colour, and really start to control that paint to water ratio so that you are in control of the lightness and the darkness of your colour.